Now, the term jobber might sound a bit old-fashioned, perhaps even conjuring up images of traveling salesmen from a bygone era. And while the core concept has roots in that kind of independent intermediary, the modern jobber is a vital cog in the machinery of getting goods from point A to point B, especially for smaller manufacturers and niche markets. So, what exactly is a jobber in the supply chain? At its heart, a jobber is an independent intermediary who buys goods from manufacturers or larger distributors and then resells them to retailers or other businesses. They essentially act as a link, bridging the gap between those who produce goods and those who ultimately sell them to the end consumer. Think of it like this. Imagine a small, family-run bakery that produces incredible gourmet cookies. They might not have the resources or infrastructure to deliver their cookies to hundreds of small cafes and independent grocery stores across a region. That's where a jobber specializing in gourmet food items steps in. The jobber buys a large quantity of these cookies from the bakery and then takes on the responsibility of distributing them to various smaller retail outlets. This model offers several key advantages. For the small bakery, it provides access to a wider market without the significant investment in logistics, sales teams, and transportation. They can focus on what they do best, baking delicious cookies. For the retailers, it offers a convenient way to source a diverse range of products, including those from smaller or less well-known suppliers, without having to deal with numerous individual manufacturers. Now, it's important to distinguish the jobber from other players in the supply chain, such as wholesalers and distributors. While there can be some overlap in function, there are key differences. A wholesaler typically buys goods in bulk directly from manufacturers and sells them to retailers. They often deal with larger volumes and may have more established relationships with specific manufacturers. Think of a major grocery wholesaler that sources products from national food brands and supplies them to supermarket chains. A distributor, on the other hand, often has a more exclusive relationship with a manufacturer within a specific territory. They might handle marketing, sales, and after-sales service in addition to warehousing and delivery. Consider a beverage distributor who is the sole authorized supplier of a particular soft drink brand within a state. So where does the jobber fit in? Jobbers often operate on a smaller scale than traditional wholesalers or distributors. They might specialize in a particular niche market, a specific geographic area, or a certain type of product. They are often more flexible and adaptable, catering to the needs of smaller retailers and manufacturers who might be overlooked by larger players. Let's delve deeper into the characteristics and functions of a jobber. 1. Independent operation. Jobbers are typically independent businesses, not directly employed by manufacturers or retailers. This independence allows them to work with a variety of suppliers and cater to a diverse customer base. 2. Niche focus. Many jobbers specialize in specific product categories. You might find jobbers who deal exclusively in automotive parts, beauty supplies, restaurant equipment, or even specific types of consumer electronics. This specialization allows them to develop expertise and build relationships within that particular market. 3. Smaller scale. Compared to large national distributors, jobbers often operate on a more regional or local level. They might focus on serving a specific city or a cluster of towns. This local focus can be a significant advantage for small retailers who prefer to work with someone who understands their local market. 4. Inventory management. Jobbers typically hold their own inventory. They purchase goods from manufacturers and store them in their own warehouses, ready for delivery to retailers. This relieves both the manufacturer and the retailer of the burden of managing large quantities of stock. 5. Transportation and delivery. Jobbers usually handle the transportation and delivery of goods to their retail customers. This logistical support is crucial for smaller retailers who may not have their own delivery infrastructure. 6. Credit and financing. In some cases, jobbers may extend credit terms to their retail customers, providing them with a period to pay for the goods. This can be particularly helpful for smaller businesses with limited cash flow. 7. Market knowledge. Because they work closely with both manufacturers and retailers, jobbers often possess valuable insights into market trends, consumer preferences, and pricing dynamics within their specific niche. This knowledge can be beneficial to both their suppliers and their customers. 8. Flexibility and adaptability. Jobbers often demonstrate a high degree of flexibility in their operations. They can adapt to the specific needs of their clients, offering customized delivery schedules or handling smaller order quantities that might not be attractive to larger distributors. Now, let's consider some real-world examples to solidify our understanding. Imagine a small chain of independent bookstores. They want to stock books from various small presses and self-published authors, alongside the mainstream bestsellers. Dealing directly with each of these smaller publishers would be administratively overwhelming. A book jobber specializing in independent publications can aggregate these titles, making it easier for the bookstore to source a diverse selection. Another example could be in the restaurant supply industry. A new, independent restaurant might need a variety of specialized ingredients, from locally sourced produce to unique imported spices. A food service jobber can consolidate these items from different suppliers, delivering them to the restaurant on a regular basis. The role of the jobber has evolved alongside the broader supply chain landscape. With the rise of e-commerce and direct-to-consumer models, some might argue that the traditional jobber is becoming less relevant. However, in many sectors, particularly those dealing with fragmented markets, specialized products, or smaller businesses, the jobber continues to play a crucial role. In fact, the rise of online marketplaces and the increasing demand for niche products have arguably created new opportunities for jobbers. They can leverage online platforms to reach a wider network of retailers and source products from a more diverse range of manufacturers, both locally and internationally. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.